Alright, so everyone ready? Then
Yes, sir.
let's go live in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and welcome, folks. I hope you're all ready to watch some Yooka-Laylee bingos. My name is Tip Daddy. I will be your commentator for this run. The two runners we've got here are two of the top Yooka speedrunners in the game. We've got Aljex, hailing from Canada, as well as we've got Hedwig, hailing from Germany. So hopefully this will be a pretty good race. I've got a board picked out for them that should be overall a pretty good balance. Nothing too, I guess, like a goal that they want to go for out of everything else. But and with that out of the way, I'll go ahead and give the runners their countdown. So in 3, 2, 1, go. And with that, we are off. So, for anyone who doesn't know Yooka-Laylee at all, Yooka-Laylee is kind of a spiritual successor to the Banjo-Kazooie games. They are 3D collectathons where you kind of go through various worlds and collect major collectibles in the form of pages and minor collectibles in the form of quills. You've got things kind of like Jinjos, which are called Ghost Riders in this game. You've got various other collectibles to kind of increase your health or the amount you can do your moves and other things like that. So in Bingo, we go ahead and we have goals kind of based around all of those things. So you'll be able to see a lot of different stuff than you normally see in a Yooka-Laylee Bingo. And right off the bat, you're going to see some tricks right away in the game. Both Aljex and Hedwig just performed what are called lag jumps. In this game, if we toggle between the two lowest graphics settings, it causes the game to lag, but Yooka and Laylee kind of continue to move. So we can use it in a couple different instances. The first that you saw there was that they can jump a lot higher than they're supposed to. Other instances of that you'll see later include like being able to kind of clip into things by effectively moving a lot faster than they normally would. And yeah, so a lot of the opening of this is kind of standard stuff. They're gonna get into Hivory Towers, which is where Capital B, the main antagonist of the game, lives and operates his company out of. And we'll kind of get some of the early moves as well as the first pagey here, but then the game will really open up. And so if you've played this game normally, there are 5 different worlds within the game that pretty much are forced to go to just the first world. It's kind of one of those, hey, we'll give you one pagey, now you need to use this one pagey to open up that single world. But since we are speedrunners, we like to go ahead and skip whatever we possibly can. So right after we collect that first pagey and get back in and talk to Trouser, who's going to give us our last first move of the game, which is the roll ability, that is when the game completely opens up. We're able to use tricks to, mostly those lag tricks, to effectively get anywhere within the hub world that we want to. And so this will kind of do, for bingos especially, it makes it very free and open for the runners to kind of pick what they want to do. I'll point you guys actually to the goal in column 5, row 3. You can see that one's called Open Moody First. Moody is the third tome or world in the game, so you're not actually supposed to open it until quite a bit later in the game, but it is possible with all of our tricks to actually open it first within all of the games. So we will see if either of the runners go for it. It'll put them at a little bit of a disadvantage simply because the other way that this game works is like, hey, you collect moves throughout the game. And Moody Maze does not have the most, I guess, speedrunner-friendly moves. Some of the least used moves. You can kind of... They're also more expensive. The way that you get moves in this game is by paying quills to do that. So we will see if either of the runners opt to go for that. Also just want to call out the trick you just saw both of them do there is called Early Waterworks. It's another great instance of a lag clip. And so the runners effectively abuse the lag within the game to get below a wall, which allows them to then skip over into, this is the waterworks area. The waterworks area is actually where the Moody Maze tome is. And now the runners will kind of proceed backwards through the Highbury Towers, just because they will be able to get a lot of early pages to kind of help them pick where they want to end up. So far, Hedwig is just a little bit ahead of Aljex. He is talking to Vendy right there. Vendy gives us tonics in this game. In this game, those tonics can range from completely cosmetic effects to the one that I believe both of them will pick is the Baller tonic, which effectively allows them to roll a lot longer. You can see that green bar that's showing up beneath the Yooka and Laylee faces. That bar effectively indicates how long the runners can use these special moves, one of which is the roll ability, so that it will be very key for all of this run. And so far, we've got just Hedwig and Aljex kind of going through a lot of the standard early game. If you've ever watched pretty much any speedrun of this game, this is the standard starting route. They're just going ahead and picking up a lot of early hub pages just to kind of get things checked off the board. But then we'll kind of see where folks go. Looks like Hedwig will be opting to go into the second world of the game, which is Glitterglaze Glacier. So that also means Hedwig will be completely locked out from column 5 and row 3, just because he chose to not open Moody first. So we will see if Aljex makes a different call. Unfortunately, Aljex, they're struggling a little bit with this honey slide. That trick is there's a move in the game that you can effectively swallow some honey and stick to the wall instead of sliding. But fortunately, having a little bit of a hard time. There he goes. Finally got up. So let's talk a little bit about this board. As well as bingos in general for Yooka. If you have watched Yooka-Laylee speedruns before, you're probably familiar with a lot of the strats that we do, but in bingo, we actually get to see a lot of different stuff in the game than we typically do. Some great examples of that would really be, we get to see a lot of lag tricks in here, especially double lag tricks. In the game, we have, you already saw great instances of single lag tricks, but there are also, they're called just double lag, where effectively you saw them be able to jump higher than normal with a single lag. Well, then with a double lag, they can jump even higher. It's a little slow, obviously, for RTA strats, but in certain instances, it's really great in bingo to kind of get different stuff earlier. And so Aljex will indeed be going into Tribal Stack Tropics instead. So these runners are definitely off to a different route from each other. But other things, that we get to see in Yooka bingos that we don't usually get to see, we're going to see a lot of Rextro. He is a little dinosaur that has a bunch of little mini games that the runners will get to play with. Looks like, as I look at this board, there's definitely some instances where we'll go talk to Rextro. The Glaciator's goal, as well as we can see there's 2 Rextro pages called out as a goal as well. Both of those will be instances where they can get some Rextro goals done. The other instance, and this is great because Hedwig is right there, is we also get to see a lot more of Cardos. Cardos is he brings us on little tiny minecart mini games where you have to collect gems throughout the way. And so Hedwig opting for Cardos there. Another goal on this board is 2 Cardos pages, so he'll get the first one right away. And so specifically with this board, some of the interesting things that we've got, I already talked about Open Moody first. Unfortunately, neither of the runners went for that one. But it makes it really interesting just because you're out a lot of the generic movement abilities that we have. Of course, neither of the runners went for it, so we don't really have to worry. Another one of the great goals on this board that I like is Quiz 3, then 2, then 1. So since I mentioned this is kind of the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, if you've ever played that game, you also know that there is a quiz show at the end of the game. Well, in this game, they decided to kind of split that up into 3 separate parts throughout the entirety of the game. So there are 3 of them, as you can see. The first one being after the first level in natural progression. The second quiz is after the 3rd level in natural progression, and then the 3rd quiz is all the way at the end, right before the final boss. So the runners may end up going for that. It's an interesting goal just because, it doesn't really gain them anything in terms of other kind of movement abilities or pages to unlock other parts of worlds and things like that. So it's purely just like time-based. So, and the way we do it is have them go all the way to the last quiz, then the second quiz, then the first quiz, just to kind of, switch things up. And then the last, one of the last goals that I want to talk about are pirate treasures. You can see we've got 4 pirate treasures there in column 2, row 5. Pirate treasures are a completely optional collectible in this game that isn't even on the total screen. So even in a 100% speedrun of this game, you wouldn't see runners collecting them. Great timing that I'm talking about it. We can see Aljex currently going for the first pirate treasure in Tribal Stack Tropics right now. There are 5 pirate treasures in total, 1 for each world. So it looks like Aljex may be going for that pirate treasure goal after all. And so as I look at this board, I think the quiz 3-2-1 honestly is pretty good, with it being on a corner and this being a 3-line bingo here. It can synergize super well with some of the other things in the game, as well as, if you can triple stack up on it, it allows you to really capitalize on that time and use it to your advantage. But we'll see if they do it. Some of the other interesting things here, Galleon Galaxy is the 5th world in this game that is really kind of hardly seen in Yooka speedruns. You'll see it in the 100 pages category pretty briefly, and then only else in the 100% category. And Bingos is kind of not really any exception. It's the most expensive world to get into, but we do have goals on this board that kind of force the runners into Galleon if they choose to do so. One of those goals being, you can see we've got all molecules on the board. The molecules in this game are very similar to just kind of mumbo tokens from the original Banjo game. You effectively collect them, and then you are allowed to transform for that world. Looks like Hedwig there went after a Clara Pagey. In this game, we've got a lot of different NPCs who kind of reappear throughout the game. Instances of those might be Clara, who you just saw, the skeleton with her little cooking pot, as well as we've got Planker, who is a little road sign who wants us to help him with various household chores. This one being picking up garbage. And so Aljex right now giving us another instance of, or is giving us our first instance of double lag. So you can see he does the first lag switch, and then he immediately pauses afterwards, and with it, unfortunately didn't get it there, but gets himself a little bit higher than before, so we'll see if he can get the trick. Meanwhile, Hedwig, over on the other side, is, you saw this earlier with Aljex, but he is going for the Nimble Race right now. The Nimble Race, it's just kind of a race around the entirety of Tribal Stack. It gives us a really good source of quills in the game. And then additionally, I don't remember if there's a Nimble goal on here or not, but my guess is both runners just opted for it just because it's a really great early source of quills in the game. And you can see right smack dab in the middle there, we've got a 300 quills goal. So runners will probably be going for those as much as they can, since we've got a crossover between other stuff. Some more things to talk about. You can see there's a lot of different Ghost Rider goals on here. Those being the Ghost Riders are, like I kind of mentioned before, they're like Jinjos from the original Banjo game, but in this game, each one kind of has a different personality to them. And what that means is effectively there's a different method of collecting them compared to the other one. You've got the standard one, which is yellow. He just kind of sits there and lets you collect him, nothing special. Then you've got the green one, who likes to run away from you. If you probably saw both the runners collect the green one already in Tribal Stack. What's nice about it is if you're kind of quick and coming at him immediately, the green Ghost Rider effectively just is too slow to know that you're coming for him, and therefore can't really run away. But in other instances, like other worlds, we don't really have the ability to run at him as fast as in this Tribal Stack world. So we'll see if the runners go for that. And you can see actually also on this board, we've got instances of like 3 green Ghost Riders, 3 yellow Ghost Riders, 3 blue Ghost Riders, things like that. So the runners will have to actually collect the Ghost Riders throughout the various worlds. To keep talking about those, actually, talked about yellow and green. There are a couple other colors as well. We've got the blue Ghost Rider actually requires one of Trowser's moves. There is a sonar ability where Laylee kind of shoots a little beam. It causes it to... The blue Ghost Rider is typically invisible, but with Laylee's ability, you make her reappear. So that one they'll have to collect as well. And then pink Ghost Riders, which we'll see if the runners really kind of go for any of the pink Ghost Riders. The pink ones are, interestingly, some of the hardest ones to get in the game, mostly because, and this will give me a good second to talk about kind of how the game also works, but in this game, there are 5 worlds, like I already mentioned, but there is also, you can expand each and every world that you go into. So while you might have an original set of goals in it when you visit a world the first time, you can then pay a few more pages to make it larger and add more goals and add new access to other things in the world as well. So the pink ones are a lot of times hidden behind expansion, or sometimes they require moves from late game areas or other things like that. So likely the runners won't really be going for that instead. Hedwig now also appear to be going for the flanker pagey here, Flightless. That's actually, I realize that's a goal there, right in column 3, row 4. You can see aljex already marked it off, and looks like Hedwig will also be picking it up here. That will likely synergize up. You can see in column 2, row 1, we've got help planker 2 different times, so that goal will likely synergize well with each other. Over on the left, or I suppose I don't know which side aljex is on, but on aljex's side, he's opting to go back all the way to Shipwreck Creek, the starting area of the game. After you collect at least 1 pagey in the Tribal Stack Tome, you are allowed to come back to Shipwreck Creek and collect some additional pages there. He'll likely be using that so he can get himself into some additional worlds. So it's going to be interesting to see what these 2 runners go for. It looks like, as I look at, I guess, the goal they've marked off so far, they may be opting to unlock all Grand Tomes here. We can see that in column 3, we've got unlock all Grand Tomes, but then additionally in row 4, we've got the unlock Galleon Galaxy Tome. So it's a great instance of kind of doubling up on their goals for no additional time on their side. It's one of the longer goals in Bingos, just because it requires a lot of pages to collect. But will definitely help them out throughout the run to collect everything else that they need to collect. And like I mentioned, with there only being 5 pirate treasures in the entire game, and 4 pirate treasures being a specific goal here, that will allow them to again kind of double up on their goals. So Hedwig now going down into the Duke's Palace. It looks like he's actually opting to not do it. I guess he didn't want to do it after all. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got aljex now choosing to go into Glitterglaze Glacier himself, probably to go pick up some more green Ghost Riders and things like that. So far, we've got both runners at 2 Grand Tomes unlocked. We've got let's see, they both got the tribal planker flightless already. They've got quite a few Ghost Riders as well, so we will see what they opt for. Aljex maybe choosing to go around the back route of Glitterglaze first here. Yep, looks like he may indeed be doing that. That'll get him back into this back area of the level, which again you don't really see too much unless you're watching the longer categories of Yooka. But he's going to go into likely the energy extender here. Yep. So over on that screen, over on Aljex's side, you can see he just picked up a little, I guess, lightning bolt collectible that allows you to effectively just use your energy using moves a lot longer than the rest, or than you could before. And so in this game where you want as much, where you want to use as much as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can, those energy extenders can be super helpful. Over on Hedwig's side of the screen, you can see he is coming up to a Pagey that's running away from him. That is called Crazy Kirkhope, which shout-outs to Grant Kirkhope for the awesome soundtrack of this game. This is a Pagey that, if you played the game casually, he probably really frustrated you, because he's very smart at predicting where you're going to go. Thankfully, in the speedrun, we have ways that we can just completely kind of glitch him, and he doesn't have any idea where we're coming from. So, quick Pagey pickup there for Hedwig. Over on the other side, we've got Aljex going up to, or he's probably gonna, you can see there is the freezing room, the intended way goal. Aljex is very close to the freezing room right now. We'll see if he actually opts for it. Looks like he actually might not. The way you need to do that, the quote-unquote intended way, is by, you talk to Trouser and learn a move that we almost never use in speedruns. It's called Slurp State. It effectively allows Yooka to eat things in his environment and pick up properties of those things as a chameleon. That makes sense. Hedwig, on the other side, is going for a trick that we call Gate Skip. Shoutouts to Kanalo, who found the trick. It was one of the last big tricks that really helped improve Yooka speedruns. It's a great instance of getting ourselves way into the later part of the game just for other Pages when we're not supposed to. And Hedwig is actually getting... we like to meme in the community that if you come from that Waterworks archive side of the area, the trick is, for whatever reason, a lot harder. We don't exactly know why, but know that that's kind of how it works. So you saw Hedwig just really quickly go into a loading zone and come back out. The reason he's doing that is just because the trick, for whatever reason, just likes to work a lot better when we come from this hub than the other side. Over on Aljex's side of the stream, you can see he is in a dark cave. This is what's known as a gloomy gem. The game in casual play, you can see those little neon green things that he keeps going by. With that slurp state ability I talked about, you're supposed to just light up the rooms that you can actually see. As you can see, it's not really too dark. The runners are, and plus with these runners knowing much about the game, they don't really need it. Hedwig now really quickly getting into past the gate. You could see he clipped out of bounds and then kind of went around the gate where he wasn't supposed to, and then got that gate open. And again, as you saw there, got in probably first try after after coming from the tribal stack side instead. And so the reason actually Aljex is in Gloomy Gem, you could see he just collected another one of those pirate treasures. So it's another pickup for him. That's 2 pirate treasures so far. Meanwhile,
do we have a moment for a couple donations, if that's all right?
Yeah, please go for it.
Fantastic. Well, we have $50 from the Lemon Fairy that says, "Excited for this marathon this weekend, and I too am excited for your generous donation, mainly because it went mostly to the chicken mod incentive, which is now met. So our next run here, Automata, yeah, that's going to be having the chicken mod, so that's going to be really exciting, and I hope you stick around for that. We also have $5 from Riddix saying, "Good to see Hedwig out here. Good luck to both runners. Thank you both for your generous donations." Back to you,
Thank
Tim.
you very much. All right, so Hedwig there, just completing a pretty simple pagey in the novel hovel room. He is going to be likely opting to enter the fourth world in the game, Capital Casino. In typical speed runs of Yuka, Capital Casino is pretty much the last gate that we have to get past. You heard me earlier say, as long as you get a single pagey in the Tribal Stack world, you can go back to Shipwreck Creek and collect additional pages there. Well, if you collect at least one pagey in the Capital Casino world, you get to collect the most broken ability in the game, which is Flight. With Flight in this game, you can effectively it effectively makes a lot of moves pointless. You can go a lot farther in places. You can effectively reach any heights that you want as long as you've got the energy for it. But it's funny because there's earlier moves in the game that allow you to kind of jump higher, but then Flight kind of makes all of those moot. Aljex here is going for the last or the second planker pagey there. So it looks like Aljex will be going for, as I see it here, probably column 2 and column 3. Which, again, since there is Unlock Galleon and Unlock All Grand Tomes in both of those two columns, that is going to be really good synergy for him. Meanwhile, Hedwig, as you can see, is picking up another molecule there that will allow him to, in this world, transform into a helicopter, which allows him to break some slot machines. And the way Casino works is instead of collecting pages, typically you collect slot tokens, just kind of like you would at a normal casino. And you exchange those in for pages as well. So Hedwig will be just kind of flying around, nothing too fancy on his side. So if there are any more donations, you can go ahead with those now.
We do unfortunately not have any donations right now, but I can tell you a bit why we are here, because we are raising money for Fred Hutch. And Fred Hutch is a research center which is based in Seattle in America, and they were actually named the coordinating center for the COVID vaccine prevention network in July 2020. So they are acknowledged by the US government as top researchers in terms of corona. And they can need all the money they need. They can need all the money they can get for their research. So if you have some money left over, please consider donating back to you guys.
Yeah, it does sound like a great cause, guys. Get your money in. So we can, help all those that are struggling and, continue to get ourselves to a more normal life again. So as you can see, Hedwig is opting to fly all around the Capital Casino to get a lot of different tokens. He's effectively just trying to get probably as many tokens as he possibly can to kind of just get him a lot of pages as quickly as he can. Meanwhile, over on Aljex's side, you just saw him slam a few igloos. That is another instance of a Clara pagey that you saw Hedwig do actually in the first level. And then now it looks like Aljex is going into where the Green Ghost Rider hides in this world, so that will be his second Green Ghost Rider. Meanwhile, you just saw Hedwig pick up the Capital Casino pirate treasure, so looks like both of them definitely going for that pirate treasure goal as well. Now, Hedwig probably just trying to find where exactly he wants to go before he starts to clean up all of the tokens that he collected throughout the rest of the game. Or, broken slots that he broke earlier. So, probably will make his way over here to Cardos, or where Cardos is. Ooh, he may be a little. We'll see if he's locked out of getting those tokens up there. Or if he tries to get back up there. Well, Instead, looks like Hedwig is going to opt for another slot machine here. When you do these slot machines, they just give you some more tokens, and they're very quick pickups. Meanwhile, we've got Aljex now, who left Glitter Glaze Glacier. Looks like he is opting to make his way back over to. It looks like he may be trying to go into Moody Maze at this point. I'm not quite sure what he's going for at this point. Yeah, okay. So you've seen us kind of going backwards around through the hub a lot so far, but Aljex now having to show off intended strats to get around the hub to get his way back into the archive. But now a great instance here on Hedwig's screen to show you what this green Ghost Rider does. He tries to evade you as best as he can. Thankfully, Hedwig wasn't stopped for too long, but those can be real time wasters if they're being real trolls. Now Aljex here just picked up a great move that Hedwig is actually showcasing on the other side of the screen. It's called Buddy Bubble. It allows you to effectively use your land abilities while underwater, as well as not have to worry about any kind of air meter or anything like that. So it's a great move to pick up all these collectibles on the bottom of the fountain. Now Aljex here is finally going for gate skip after picking up quite a bit earlier on. Made it through just fine, which is pretty nice, given that you heard me talking about the cursed gate skip, as we like to call it, coming from that archive area, but makes it through just fine. Now, since I didn't really get to talk about it before, the way we get around the gate is to use these very, very nicely placed platforms, as well as the fact that we can stand on ceilings to get around this gate and then push the switch. So there he goes. And Hedwig kind of showing off speed strats as best as he can to get this additional slot machine. He's gonna likely go pick up quite a few more slots before all is said and done here. Aljex now that he's in the quote-unquote final hub area of the game, is likely going to make his way over to Capital Casino himself. And it's kind of interesting. I don't really know which one of these runners is ahead at this point. They both opted to do pretty different goals in their or pretty different pages, I should say, in their early game. Aljex with those two planker pages is definitely is probably a little bit ahead of Hedwig. If Hedwig is also going to go for that goal, he's going to have to either go back to Glitter Glaze Glacier or opt for, there's one additional set of, or one additional planker pagey in the Moody Maze tome, so we'll see if he opts for that one instead. Hedwig now looks like he is opting to be done with the Capital Casino area. So, like I said, you exchange pages there for you exchange casino tokens for other pages, and then looks like Hedwig is also going for the Reptile Rush ability. This is one of the fastest moves in the game. You already saw the roll ability, and effectively the Reptile Rush is a way to boost around as fast as we possibly can. So it looks like Hedwig is actually gonna opt to pick up maybe a few tokens that he didn't get before. Yeah, I guess he's actually opting to turn back into the helicopter. I think he's going to clean up some of the tokens that he, I guess, just mistakenly left behind while he was going through stuff. Yeah, just gets himself up on top here. Ah, I see what he's going for. So he's going for his second Cardos pagey here. It's important to note he did this at the end of Casino. You haven't actually seen it yet, but each world hides a boss inside of it. And so the boss in the Casino tome is actually fought while on Cardos. So because Hedwig is doing this at the end of the level, he is opting to be able to quit out of the level right after he gets the Cardos Pagey, which kind of forces or allows him to not have to then fight the boss, just because, again, a lot of time. So Aljex here, struggling a little bit to get inside the casino, but there he gets right in. We'll see if Hedwig is actually even will have enough gems. I didn't mention, but the way that these Cardos Pages work are you have to collect, you can see those blue gems there. Each Cardos Pagey has, or each Cardos track has a certain number of gems required to beat the one. I believe the one for this one is 150. So Hedwig is going to fall just a little short and restart the course. So a little bit of time loss for him there. Meanwhile, you can see Aljex picked up the Reptile Rush ability on his way in to Casino, so that'll give him a little bit more speed as he's going around here. We'll see if since we're just gonna see, it looks like Aljex is gonna go for helicopter strats, and Hedwig is going for the Cardos. If you've got any donations, please feel free.
We still have no donations, but I think this would be a great point in time to point out that if you want to know more about bingos, you can head to our YouTube channel, where we do a monthly series which we call Beyond the Board, where we sit down with some bingo runners and chat with them about their bingos. We previously had Hedwig talk with us about Yooka-Laylee bingos as well, and it was very insightful. So if you're interested in that, go give that a watch. I'm sure it is very insightful for you as well.
Oh yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah, we also have the Skyward Sword Rando incentive, which currently has no names just yet, so get those donations in for that as well. So yeah, that is all. Back to you.
Sounds good. Yeah, get your money in, guys. It's a great cause, and we want to see as many runs and many, different ways to do the runs as possible. So get your donations in. Hedwig looks like he's finally able to complete that Cardos Pagey successfully. He'll now go ahead and just return to the hub and continue on. So over on the other side, looks like, as you can see, Aljex turned into the helicopter. He is opting to collect the yellow Ghost Rider over here. So as I look at that, that means he may be going for row 4 as well. I guess we'll see exactly what he's going for. Could also just be that he's trying to go for 5 Ghost Riders or whatever he chooses to pick up here. And then, as you can see, he's also going to grab the pirate treasure as well. And then on the other side, one thing that we didn't really notice is that to get into the casino area normally, you learn to move from trouser, where as a chameleon, you go invisible. And so because we don't have that move, we actually are forced to do a bunch of tricks. There you go. That you just saw Hedwig do an instance of another lag clip. As I mentioned, since we speed up or we continue to move while the game is lagging, it is a great combination with the Reptile Rush ability. So Hedwig using that to just kind of skip over where he needs to. Now Aljex on the other side looks like he is going for the Cardos Pagey himself. Cool thing to note about synergizing in this game is that because we fight the Casino boss on top of Cardos, we consider the boss in this world a Cardos Pagey as well. So Aljex may actually be opting to double up there and kill one boss, or kill a boss, as well as pick up a Cardos Pagey. And then Hedwig on your other side is looks like he's going for the Waterfall Pagey. You can see we've got goals for 15 hub Pages. The hub Pages are some of the quicker Pages in the game, but they are scattered kind of all around the world as you're going through. So it can take some time to kind of detour around and pick up as many of those as you can. But Hedwig will make quick work of that Waterfall Pagey and get himself into Let's see where he opts for next. Maybe he might be going for our wind tunnel pagey or something along those lines. Yeah, there he goes. So you've got this pagey who is all the way down at the end of a long turbine. It's a pagey that you pretty much need the Reptile Rush ability to collect it in the intended strat, but there are some really cool out-of-bounds strats that we get to use as well. In fact, that is a bingo goal that unfortunately isn't on this board, and unfortunately not really being taken by either of the runners, but it's a really cool trick if you ever get to see it. And then aljex now here is fighting the Capital Casino boss, whose name is Inept. It's a really cool boss, really great music. It's too bad that we don't have aljex's sound coming through here at all, but that song is a banger. The Inept fight actually it's a really long process, so to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that aljex is going for it. He might be opting to go for the three boss goal at the same time as going for Cardos pages, so we'll see what he chooses to do, but he's still only in the first of 3 separate phases for Inept, so he will be there for quite some time while Hedwig is allowed to kind of do whatever he wants. Hedwig kind of showcasing right there a little bit how broken the flight ability is. You know, you typically need to use... You saw how aljex chose to get into that area before. Hedwig now making his way up there pretty easily. Looks like to just collect some additional pages, I'm assuming, just so they can eventually unlock all of the tomes that they want to. Looks like Hedwig is trying to decide if it may have forgotten the ordering of these gems. The way that it works is you can see there's a little extra thing that shows you the ordering that you have to collect those. I guess Hedwig decided it's no longer worth it to pick that up. Meanwhile, aljex finally getting over into the second phase of the Inept fight. Hedwig probably trying to see where this, I think he was trying to find where this hoops pagey is. It's another quick one to pick up. Trying to use the flight ability there to maximize his energy timing, but unfortunately going to have to wait for that platform to rise slowly. Then we'll see if either one of them opts for... I'm assuming they're going to have to do the freezing room the intended way, but we'll see when they actually end up doing that. Looks like Hedwig is actually going to opt to go pick up his... I think that's his 3rd pirate treasure in Gloomy Gem himself. Otherwise, on your other side of the screen, aljex finally getting into the 3rd phase of the Inept fight, where you cause Inept to shoot missiles at himself. So it's an instance of RNG in the run. He's got a couple different ways of shooting, couple different ways of, I guess, patterns of shooting those. Hedwig actually seems like it doesn't quite remember where the pirate treasure is here, but he'll probably find it here in just a second. Yeah, there he sees it. So we'll go pick up that. We'll go pick up that pirate treasure. Probably opt to pick up some additional quills here as well. Just he's probably trying to get himself closer and closer to the number 40, which he just got to. That slurp state ability that I talked about way earlier in the run costs exactly 40 quills. So he is likely opting to get that so that he can then get the slurp state ability. Otherwise, you can see here just making his way over to the pagey and we'll pick it up easily. And back with aljex, and you can see because he completed that boss as well as the Cardos pagey initially, you can see he was able to mark off the 2 Cardos pages, so good for him. Meanwhile, he's also, I think, now going to pick up his 3rd Green Ghost Rider as well, so aljex moving right along with things. Which also does confirm that each of them or that at least aljex is going for that middle column there. So he is indeed opting to open all of the tomes, and he will be forced to collect 300 quills, which Doesn't sound like a lot of quills, but with them scattered all around, they are, it's actually a lot slower than you might think. So he'll do it about as fast as he can. It looks like he's actually opting to leave the tome right away here after just collecting some quills, because he just wanted to collect some quick pages from, or not really quick pages, but get that double Cardos pagey immediately, and then get his way out. And then Hedwig here is doing the second flanker pagey that I talked about before. He will pick up another goal for himself. Aljex kind of showcasing really just how fast we can move through the world using that Reptile Rush ability, and also showing off one of the more intended uses of that Reptile Rush ability with knocking down these domino books to pick up yet another hub pagey. So there's Hedwig getting his second planker goal, or second planker pagey, allowing him to pick up yet another pagey, and as I'm looking here, he's probably going to opt to get over to... Oh, no, he's not. Interesting. I guess Hedwig is just going to continue to collect as many quills as he possibly can. Again, like I said, 300 quills is a lot on the board, so the runners will choose, or will try to get as many quills whenever they possibly can. Hedwig now making his way probably over to what I think he's trying to make his way to the Green Ghost Rider himself. Oh, thankfully he didn't fall all the way down. You can see there he just ran out of energy, and when you're using flight and you run out of energy, well, you just tend to plummet. So it's a good thing for Hedwig he did not fall all the way down. Meanwhile, Aljex looks like he's finally gonna pick up the flight ability for himself. So good pickup for him there. That will really open up the rest of his stuff. And then Hedwig probably just checking where he's at in terms of total number of quills, just to see how much longer he has to keep collecting these, and then we'll make his way towards where the Green Ghost Rider is to, be able to mark off his third goal. Then over on Aljex's side of the screen, he's making his way back to the Waterworks area. I'm guessing he is going to opt to enter into the Moody Maze tome here after he collects a few very quick pages in the Waterworks area. And sure enough, Hedwig picking up the Green Ghost Rider and then getting on out of that tome. And so, actually, as I look at it, Hedwig may have actually been opting for going for 50 quills in 3 worlds as well. That's another one that you can see there in that top row. Not quite sure exactly what he's going for, but we'll have to see. And then Aljex showing off another great instance of the lag tricks that we have. Again, since we didn't pick up the camo cloak ability, we basically have to come up with ways to skip those pages as best we can. Thankfully, the lag tricks as well as the Reptile Rush ability synergize super well to allow us to just skip past the gate before it can even close. Hedwig now making his way back into Tribal Stack, probably to just clean up a few things that he didn't pick up before. Looks like he is actually opting to either get some quills, as well as looks like he may indeed be going for the all molecules ability. That's another great it's another goal here that synergizes super well with the unlock all Grand Tomes ability, or unlock all Grand Tomes goal, I should say. Molecules, like I mentioned, there is 1 in every single tome. So being able to combine those 2 goals is a good, efficient use of time. And then Aljex now being the first one to enter into the Moody Maze Marsh tome. So he'll likely go for the pirate treasure, a couple of quick pages, and then he'll probably make his way out. But we'll have to see exactly what he goes for here. There's also a very quick quick instance of another good yellow Ghost Rider in this tome too. So we'll have to see if that's what they go for. Hedwig there, giving you another instance of skipping the camo pagey here. Makes it look easy. And as Hedwig is now just going to be opening up a tome. Again, if there's any donations, hopefully there are. If not, come on guys, get your donations in. If we all donate $5, imagine how much we could have. But if there are any donations, please feel free.
I do indeed have a donation. I've got $10 by my very own co-host Paulister in here, saying, let's get the ball rolling and let's raise money for a great cause. Thank you very much. And with that, we do have a name for the Skyward Sword randomizer. I can tell you that in just a quick second, which is Spyro. So if you want to see another name than Spyro, then get your donations in for that. Otherwise, back to you guys.
Alrighty. So we got both runners here, despite the different routes that they took in the beginning. We have them both now in the Moody Maze tome. Looks like they're just trying to collect as many quills as they can here. They could be going for one of those goals where they have to get 50 in the world. They may also just be going for, I'm guessing they were going for 300 total. And like I mentioned, that's just a lot of quills, so they gotta collect them wherever they possibly can. Meanwhile, Aljex going for his 4th and final pirate treasure of the game. So he'll be able to mark off that goal as well. And then I'm guessing we'll go for a couple of easy pages here. We've got one that we call the Free in the Tree. Nice pages just sitting there. You're supposed to do a little platforming challenge as well as use one of the abilities that you earn in this game. But instead, Aljex is just gonna pick it up easily. Looks like he's now also going for I think that's only his first blue Ghost Rider. We'll have to see. It looks like he will have to travel back to other tomes if he wants to pick up the other blue Ghost Riders, but now making his way over to the yellow Ghost Rider. Hedwig himself now just picking up the Free in the Tree, and then will himself pick up his 4th and final pirate treasure. So runner's actually kind of neck and neck in a sense. And then looks like Aljex is just taking a little bit of time to recharge his energy, and we will see where he opts to go for. Making his way across these logs, as since he doesn't have energy, he's has to do it that way. It's another great source of quills right there too, so probably picking them up for that reason. We will also likely now see on Aljex's side of the stream. Oh, maybe not, but they will likely opt to do a really cool trick here, where you can see that this whole area is looks like a swamp that he's in. There's a trick. There's I guess a pagey that you have to hit all those switches that he was just by. But you actually have the ability to skip underneath it. And as I say that, looks like Hedwig is doing just what I'm talking about. And so we can see here, can get your way right around the underside of that map. And then looks like, I'm guessing Hedwig is going for the Mollycool here, since it seems like he's opting for that goal. And sure enough, pick up that Mollycool. He is unfortunately now soft locked, so to get himself out of there, he will have to quit out of the world, saving not really too much time. But I guess it doesn't matter for him. That's the last thing he wanted to do there. Meanwhile, on your other side of your screen, you've got Aljex going for his 2nd boss in the game, Trev the Tentacle. Another great banger, so it's unfortunate that we don't have Aljex's sound coming through here, but really cool boss. It's one of the cooler bosses, in my opinion, in the game. The one thing that's a little unfortunate is that Aljex does not really have a lot of health. To do the fastest strats against this boss, you actually want to intentionally take damage in a lot of places, And this is a boss that tends to, I think he does 2 damage to us each time, as opposed to a lot of things only do 1. But we'll see if Aljex will go for those, I guess, intentional damage boosts or not. Hedwig now actually making his way back into Glitterglaze Glacier. He likely is going for might be going for that freezing room intended way. You know, as I look at this board and what each runner has marked, I think they're kind of varying their route as they go through. They're kind of, you know, choosing to go for a different goal than they may have originally had. But looks like Hedwig is going to make his way to Trouser and purchase I'm guessing the Slurp State ability. Yep, there he goes. That will be, I'm guessing he will be using that to pick up both the Yellow Ghost Rider, as well as he'll be able to do the Freezing Room, the intended way goal with that ability. So making his way up the hill. Will likely, yep, there he goes. So you can see here, this is a great, now you can see how this ability works. Yooka is able to swallow those coals, and then he is able to light these little torches to heat up the inside. We have to hope that he doesn't go too slow here, or yep, he's unfortunately going to have to make his way back to one of the lower torches there, because unfortunately the ability ran out. But on your other side, looks like Aljex is, I think he's getting close to finishing off Trev. My guess is he will quit out of the tome after he beats that boss. But yeah, so even though it may look like we're still a long ways off the end of the run may come a lot quicker than you think it will. They're kind of in cleanup mode right now. You can see Hedwig there just marked off the freezing room, the intended way goal, as well as so as I look at it, if he's going for, oh, looks like Hedwig is actually going to opt for the diagonal here, as well as column 3 and row 5. So Hedwig actually is kind of almost in go mode. The last thing he really needs to do is open up Galleon Galaxy, collect the molecule there, and then he may be done once he has enough quills. So we will have to see how fast he is, or how quickly he gets through all that. Meanwhile, Aljex, you can see, was just checking his totals. Looked like he was trying to see how many hub pages he was at. We can see we've got the 15 hub pages goal. Since he is opting for 3 bosses, he'll also have to pick up yet one more hub pagey before he can mark that goal off. Hedwig, on the other side of your screen, is going for this other slide pagey. This is casually, and even in the speedrun sometimes, this can be very difficult. It's there's not really a lot of room for error to make your way through this, and there's a lot of instances where you can get hurt and everything, but thankfully it looks like Hedwig will be able to make it through there before the time runs out. And we'll see how many pages he's at here. He's at that magic number of 12, which is the number of pages you need to open up Galleon, so Hedwig is about to be able to mark off 2 goals in 1 here, unlocking all tomes and Galleon Galaxy right away there. I'm not quite sure how many quills Hedwig is at this point, but if he's entering Galleon, he must be close to that 300 number. So Hedwig is actually very, very close to the end of his run here. Looks like all he needs to get 3 lines is the last molecule, as well as 300 quills, and he will be done. Meanwhile, Aljex still has quite a bit that he has to do. Unfortunately, it looks like he's opting to expand Tribal Stack Tropics to go fight the Rambo boss, which is pretty quick. It's definitely quick if you're going for the boss goals. But looks like Hedwig is actually done right there. He'll need to show us the totals to make sure he's got 300 quills, but that is indeed three lines for him if he has 300 quills. And so now choosing to show off up at the top of the lighthouse, celebrating with Yooka. And so, not sure I'm not sure if you guys will want to, I guess, mercy kill Aljex's side or how you want to handle it. But Hedwig is, I believe, done at this point.
Well, we're still like 20 minutes underestimate. We still got some ways to go in here, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, let's let Aljex finish in that case.
Sounds good. Looks like Aljex going for a few more pages. He's likely doing that just so he will have enough pages for him to be able to open that final galleon tome. Aljex actually getting an instance of nice little glitch in the game where sometimes if you slam on a certain part of aspects of the world, it causes you to kind of hover midair there, but eventually able to pick up that that pagey. And then looks like he's going to pick up another quick pagey and then make his way over to Rampo, which will be his third boss of the game. Then that'll be able to let him mark off that. Looks like he's also trying to find a couple of additional quills here, just to, every quill counts. As well as looks like he's opting to pick up some additional health, just to, go safe mode against this Rampo boss. Rampo not really too difficult. He in again intended strats, you're supposed to roll up the hill and just kind of avoid these logs that Rampo sends down. But actually, it looks like Aljex is opting for those intended strats. So we'll see what he does here. Great time for donations if you do have any. Rampo's just kind of an auto-scroller here.
Nope, no donations currently, but keep in mind, all donations go towards Fred Hutch research center in Seattle. They're researching a great deal on COVID-19, and let me tell you a bit about them. They had 25% of their faculties already dedicated to viruses before the pandemic, so Fred Hutch was able to take swift action when it started. They've been part of the leading of massive COVID-19 vaccine trials for the US government that have shown great success so far. So, yeah, that is a very great cause. And with that, back to you guys.
Yeah, great cause indeed. Get your money in for that. So Aljex now looks like he is indeed in go mode. He's just got he's got two more goals, but they're a double goal in itself. So he's gonna make his way back over to the Galleon hub, or to the Galleon tome, open that up, and he will be done. So just a few more minutes or a few more seconds rather, as he just makes his way through this hub and then over to the Galleon tome, and that'll be it. But yeah, what a cool race. Hedwig opting to do a lot of cool synergies here. He synergized both unlock all Grand Tomes, the unlock Galleon, as well as getting all the Molly cools. Like, those three goals together work super, super well. As well as looks like he synergized the 300 quills and the 50 quills in 3 different worlds together to put those together. But then Aljex here, as you can see, he's very close to the finish line. Just has to make his way to this tome, give it an opening, and once he enters that tome, that will be time. Or once the loading screen appears, I should say. So opens it up. Looks like he went ahead and marked it already. So that's time for both runners.
GG's.
GG's indeed.
Very good times by both runners, actually. So that's very nice.
Yeah, GG's. Let's see if the runners want to talk a bit about their runs, about what went well, what did not went so well.
Okay, 1 second. I'm frantically typing so we can get Hedweg in here. There he is.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Hedwig.
Everything works out with sound because, like, you might hear like the Discord call on my end now. So maybe.
No, we switched. This is fine.
Lovely, lovely. Hey, aljex, GG.
Hi, GG.
You guys took a very different way of going about it. That was fun to watch.
Did you beat me by like a few minutes actually?
Yeah,
I did the sub hour somehow. That was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I was
Hedwig,
thinking
can
my route wasn't too bad. Like my time was fine. You just found like a much better way to do it.
Yeah, I think all the time you spent in the bosses really
Yeah,
really
Trev
slowed it down.
really hurt. The other two weren't awful, but I do agree the bosses were my downfall.
Hedwig, can we get a confirmation on the total screen so we can confirm you got those goals?
Oh, sure. So first of all, we got 302 lovely quills over here.
Two indeed.
I didn't even have
then
3
Ghost
blue
Riders,
ghosts.
5 molecules.
Then
We did
yeah,
already
exactly.
transition over to another layout, which does not have the streams anymore. But
Oh,
we'll
alright,
just
alright.
believe you for now. We'll just
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, Moody was actually 50 exactly, and then I stopped. Nice. Yeah, I figured like the quill synergize, like choosing the quill goals would synergize pretty well with one another, and then like 3 goals that were basically open Galleon Galaxy, and I felt like, oh yeah, I gotta take those 3.
I went a little different. I wanted to end on opening Galleon without the loading screen. I didn't want to go into it, and I think that's what hurt me because I was like skipping Molly Cools at that point.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I my routing was pretty solid for the most part, except that I did 2 pretty major mistakes. One of which was to try and attempt gate skip coming out of archive.
Yep, yeah.
See,
That
what's funny
cost
is
me like
both of you
1.5
did.
minutes.
Yeah, both of you did that, and aljex happened to get it first try, I want to say.
Oh, nice. And then I forgot to pick up the molecule in my first visit of Tribal, so I had to go back to it basically just to get the molecule. That wasn't too good either. And then I also forgot to do Freezing Room when I visited Glitter Glaze for the second time, so I had to go in a third time. Lol.
And then also the Kashino Cardos took you quite a bit.
Oh yes, 3 attempts.
Oh my god.
3 attempts.
I
on
assume
Kashino
you
Cardos.
did you quit out when you did Cardos and not do an
Yes.
out? Okay.
Yes.
But he basically took as long as the boss fight
Yes,
to beat
yes.
to beat the Cardos. Oh, it was cool. I'm surprised neither of you ended up going for the quiz 3-2-1, but as after Hedwig talked about, the unlock all grain tomes, unlock Galleon, and all molecules being such a good synergy, totally get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, everyone who's interested in Yuka Bingos, check out our Discord if you want. We could definitely need some fresh people in there caring about the game, caring about this lovely open 3D platformer. You see, it fits quite well for Bingos. We're always cool and happy to like greet new people, and thanks Bingothon for having us. It's always
Thank
cool
you
to
very
be
much
on
for
here.
running.
Doing stuff for a great cause, you guys, and woohoo! That would be it from me. Bada boom.
Yeah, thank you very much for running. I'm sure everyone in chat enjoyed it. We will be right back after a short intermission with Near Automata. Yes, I know the schedule by heart. Good scheduler in here, by the way. Yeah, well, we'll be right back after a short intermission. See you then.
See you then. Bye bye.
All right. And we should
Think
be
we
off,
are in the clear.
hopefully.
Woohoo! See you guys.
Yeah, thanks,
All
guys.
right.
Jeez,
Thanks for
that was
running.
fast.
Woohoo!
All right.
All
There's
right.
Lydia.
Hello.
Hi.
Good day.
Mm.
Oh, apparently open mic still, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know why this should. I think I know why. Actually, it's probably because this is.
There is already evidence of that happening. The number of missed screenings has been due to COVID-19 pandemic has been really high. And I think I saw a paper which suggested that now people are getting diagnosed later, so the cancer has spread further due to the fact that the early screenings and detections were missed. And so that effect we will be seeing for years to come. Some positives have come out of this. Like a Fred Hutch researcher has been really pushing for this test for colorectal cancer. It's called the FIT test. And for colorectal cancer screenings, it just involves mailing something to somebody's house, them taking a sample and mailing it back, and using that for diagnosis. And so changing how we think about how we diagnose people will be really important going forward. Hopefully this will lead to some flexibility and some new ideas and new technologies that can improve screening even remotely.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can hear you. I've got push to talk on, so
Oh, nice. Very good start.
sorry.
That's the perfect way to start. I approve of it. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I'm tired.
Yeah, I can blame you. It's gonna be quite a long one. How do you want to handle this intermission?
To be honest, I don't even have. I haven't got access to the donation page yet. I just realized.
Oh, do you mean the tracker?
Yeah, the tracker. That's what it's called.
Or did Flo not give you the login?
No, he didn't.
Alright, I'm just gonna ping Flo. Oh, are we on open mic? Apparently we are. Well, very interesting. Alright. That's interesting. Well, that's... Well, in that case, since it seems we can be heard, which I did not expect, well, hello everyone, welcome to this very convenient introduction here, which is definitely interesting to say the least.
Yeah, so I guess this is how we're handling the intermission. Is just go off the cuff.
Yeah, just
Next
go off.
question for you.
Yeah, with confirmations we are indeed on mic. In any case, what I can say is, right up next after this intermission here, this totally not cuffed intermission here, we're totally professionals, is that we've got the Nier Automata triple bingo here by MA and Isom, and we're gonna have the one and only epic chicken mod incentive that's finally been met earlier, and there's been so much hype around this one. I'm really curious to see what that will give. I also see that we actually got a $10 donation from Axington123, who you may remember actually just ran Sim's Hit and Run just earlier, with a message saying, "Was a pleasure to be part of the event. Thank you for having me, and hope we raise a lot of money for a great cause." Well, thank you, Axington, for your $10 donation. Really appreciate it, and that puts us at $222 for Fred Hutch, which is really amazing. Like, we're just barely a couple hours into the marathon. I think that's really cool. What do you think?
I would like it when the numbers are all the same.
Yes, it's just 222. I can approve of that.
That see, this is the funny thing about thinking up the host bingo's goals is you can always think of good ones after after the event starts. So like having sequential numbers and stuff.
In any case, there's got a few other runs I think that have got a bit of a few exciting things. Like there's the Skyward Sword randomizer coming up in a few hours, like just right after Nier Automata, and for it there's actually a character named Bidwar that currently has one option, Spyro, at $10. So you still have the whole Nier Automata run to donate for that if you want. So I'm curious to see how that will go, especially considering that particular run also will have the dungeon entrance randomizer.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really cool runs coming up, and it's only the first day. Like I looked at the schedule. I shared it with a couple of friends, and I was like, yeah, like 3 Zeldas, Nier Automata. Great games coming up. Have you got any? Sorry, have you got any games you're looking forward to see, Pika?
Well, for me, I'm very biased in that I'm a Zelda guy, so for me, this whole Zelda blog that we've got coming up, you can see the schedule for those that don't know by typing in the chat ! Scheduled. And like, yeah, we've got that Skyward Sword randomizer, we've got Breath of the Wild, Row Control Bingo, a Link to the Past randomizer also later as well. So that's just that block we have. There's also a few other blocks, cool blocks we'll have. Like tomorrow, there's the Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 runs as well. Meanwhile, your run will be on Saturday
Dark
night,
Souls
if I'm not
bingo
mistaken.
Sorry.
Hmm.
Sorry, I forgot something in my throat. What did you say?
Your run, your Monster Ranger run as well is on Saturday night, isn't it?
Yes, it's Saturday night, Sunday morning for me.
Yes, indeed. Once again, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up.
I'm certainly looking forward to Ora in the Blind Forest. I love that game so much. Did we lose Pika?
Sorry?
Oh, okay. As you just went suddenly very quiet, I thought we'd lost you.
I am
Great
lost.
start to the marathon.
Yeah.
Host is down already.
Yes, it's bare at the beginning and everything's broken, we're all broken and we're all dead. That's what happens. Oh boy. There's just a few minutes until the run should be starting. So bear with us just for a moment. But I'm sure it's going to be worth it, especially with the chicken mod. I'm just so curious to see what that's going to look like. Alright, we just got word from tech that the run is ready to start in just a few moments. So sit tight everyone, and we'll be transitioning in just a few moments for Nier Automata.